Okay, let's see if the battery lasts or if I have enough time. I'm going to make a fairly simple molding. This is going to be the surround on a table that's going to be tile top. And I'm using 4 different molding planes, actually 3 molding planes and a Stanley 45 with a 235 cutter in it, which, or 234, excuse me, is 4 reeds that are 3/16 in size. And these are planes that I bought and refurbished over time. The Stanley blades, I got lucky on a bid on eBay one time. This is just a hollow plane with about a 1/4 inch cutter I'm using to break the edge, which will be on the inside. This is kind of an ogee. I can't remember if it's Grecian or Roman or reverse or Sigma recta or what the heck. I keep brushes when I'm using molding planes and a very sharp, not sharp, but thin bladed knife for cleaning shavings if there's a jam. This type of a molding plane will have little lines. I don't know if you can see them anywhere for your square. Right now the name of those escapes me, but they're the orientation lines for You gotta be careful about going too fast. You'll get your orientation off and then you'll spoil the work. But like everything else in life, you want to get done with it. Well, most things in life that are work related, you want to get done with it as efficiently as possible, shall we say. This is a good way to get exercise. Get one of them Fitbits, probably put on the next couple miles this way. Okay, I'm starting to get the top of this to come in. When you got a molding plane with a good wedge and everything is sharpened right, you don't get many shavings jammed inside. They just come right out the side like they're supposed to, and there you go. Rub it with the shavings a little bit to smooth it down and get rid of any little stickery part sticking up, and that looks pretty good right in there. Could use one little sweep, I think, in the opposite direction here. here. Have to do something with that later. Now for the other parts here, I want to take the vise off so I don't run my hand against it. Have the edge just a little over the edge of the bench. Have a stack in here to keep the vise from racking. Get my bench dog down just a little bit lower so I don't run into it. On a vise like this, its tendency to rack, having the stack in there not only stops the racking, but it keeps this end from moving down enough to bow the board. Now with the 45 and mini molding planes, you want to start at the far end first. On this one I have 2 depth stops because it just comes in a little bit handier that way to get your exact height set. If you don't, you'll end up having a very deep cut down here and kind of light at the other end. When you're doing partial length cuts, it's good to pick up on the tote of the plane before you get to the end. That'll help prevent little tear outs in the profile that you're cutting. And here I'm starting to get rounded, and I still have flats back this way. This gets a little bit harder with each push because each push is taking off more material. It's not just the width of the blade. You've got the roundness also. And some of it's fighting each other. You can see that I'm pretty much done here, and it's not cutting anymore as it gets down there. The Stanley 45, after a certain time in their production, has a blade adjustment. When you start this, you want to go with the blade just cutting across its width. You can try taking heavy cutting, but chances are you'll have more problems than if you're taking a light cutting. And you can see we're getting whole shavings now. Just a little bit of flat left down here. And we're about done there. And on this one, mostly the grain is running out this way and up this way, which makes for a much easier cut. And you see, there we go, full depth. And with all these shavings, I've lost my other brush. Where did I put it? I don't know. So we used a big brush. And then finally come to what will be the bottom edge of this. This doesn't have the strike lines on it. It just has a fence, so it's held vertical. Wouldn't you know it, my shoelace is next. And this especially is the vise off the front. I'll be running the tips of my fingers into it on each pass. And this one's almost done. Okay, and that's a piece of molding, or actually trim for a small table, side table, or this is one of my favorite songs. A lot of times it seems with the logging trucks on my tail at about 70 miles an hour, I'm going down a windy road, and this is on my music. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped.